Here, this is my first attempt at using a new platform called Restream to try to do some live things together. Problem is, I only have a single screen like a plebeian, so I'm not able to look at what's going on in there while I'm doing it. But consider this my test. I want to do a little bit of learning in public here and show off one of my workflows for YouTube videos. So first things first, I am an Obsidian cultist. For those who don't know, Obsidian is a note-taking application that does everything in Markdown and allows you to download community-driven plugins, many of which I have created. One of my proudest that I've created is something called Nexus, which can hook up AI to your vault so it can directly manipulate your vault. So on the left here, I have Claude, and on the right here, I have my Obsidian Vault. Now, something I'm working on is this automation series. And so typically what I'll do is upload a transcript into Claude so that it can build out my entire note related to that, like ideas for the names, the LinkedIn post, the transcript, all that kind of good stuff. So the way I do that is I have something very new. I just created what I call a two-tool architecture. Say that 10 times fast. And the idea is that if you give a large language model all the tools, let's say 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 tools, that fills up its context window very quickly. It can be confusing. Why do that? Why not just let it get the tools it needs? And so the two-tool architecture that I have is a get tools and a use tools. And so here you can see I'm asking it to load up our YouTube workspace, which is sort of this scoped project for all my YouTube kind of stuff. And it grabs that tool, as you can see right here. Actually, I might have done it in an earlier step. It gets the load workspace tool, right? And then it loads that workspace and it's ready to go. These are all the things I need to do. This is the pipeline. This is what we can do. Give me the transcript and we're ready to go. And that's what I did. I just uploaded the transcript from this video I was working on, and then it went to work. Look at it go. It got some more tools, and then it started creating this note, right? With the potential titles, a description for the video, some concepts for the thumbnail, and then the transcript, which is pretty awesome. And I even didn't like what it named it. So I told it to rename it, and then I had it update our Kanban. So I have a Kanban inside of Obsidian where I'm tracking, right? Like where I'm at with all my videos. And so you can see here, it added this video. I don't have a date for it yet. But yeah, it did everything I needed to do to keep me organized. And then it went through that entire process. It made a mistake too. It was trying to rewrite the entire thing. So it wrote something and then it was going to rewrite the entire thing just to add in the LinkedIn post, which is ridiculous. So I reminded it that it has an update tool. So it went and grabbed its update tool. And instead of rewriting everything, it just replaced right inside the document itself. It was much faster. Had to rename it, add a 1. And then I started on planning the next video. So, the first video is automation basics. The next video is going to give you sort of the pros and cons of some of the major platforms. And so I used a new application that was recommended to me from buddy David called Handy, which you should definitely check out. That just gives you local open source ability to do any sort of transcription. So, I can be like, hey, I'm transcribing something for a video. And that model lives locally on my computer. It's not going out to the cloud anywhere. And you saw how fast that was. So I just did that. I just brain dumped right into Claude. This is what I'm thinking for the video and how I would do the pros and cons of some of the major platforms. Based on that, I had to go research a few things. And then after that, it put together the entire planning doc for me. So now I have all the information from my brain dump neatly organized, processed out, whatever it might be, ready for my review. But that wasn't far enough. I wanted to have a visual to go along with this video. So there are 2 ways of doing this. The first is in Nexus, this plugin that I created. I did give it a canvas manager. So Obsidian has a canvas that you can manipulate, for workflows and whatever. And it built something pretty nice. But there's just not enough kind of control here. And I might go with this in the future. but like, I don't know, I can't change the background easily. I can't change the size of lettering and stuff. So I don't know, just wasn't enough control. So my favorite is to use Excalidraw. You've seen me use this in a bunch of videos, I'm sure. And so all I had were the logos to start and then a pro and con box that was empty for each of these. And I'm lazy. I don't want to take the time to have to go through and add the text data that we already have written up into here manually. It's just not a good use of time. So, hey, let's have Claude do it in the vault. So luckily, because again, everything is technically Markdown, this Excalidraw file is just a Markdown file, which means I can manipulate the JSON that's in here to be whatever I want it to be. I had to do some like messing around with stuff. It wasn't like out of the box ready to go. I had to futz with some settings, but it was able to read this file. Again, I had some issues with it. And then I got it working. I said, hey, like, try this. It failed again. It didn't get the text to show up. But then I tried again. It updated the JSON. And there you go. It added in the text to each of these boxes. Then I wanted to go a step further, right? For this video, I also want to do like a price comparison. Like, this is what you get for this cost. And so I didn't have these blue ones down here, which go through the different costs. And I just like, hey, do some research, add in the cost with the relatable example so we can actually map out what this would look like. And it did that for me all right there. So, this saved me. I mean, obviously probably took a little bit more time this first round to put it all together, at least this part of it. But now that I figured it out, I'm gonna be able to whip these things together, snip snappy, probably create a skill or something like that to help me do it, or an agent to help me do it. So yeah, pretty incredible. So I hope you found this useful. I would definitely check out my Nexus plugin. I'll probably have to update the description in here to send you there. But yeah, it's super cool, super awesome, and hope this was helpful.